Hi and welcome everyone. So I'm back again today with another yoga video for you. And today we're going to be focusing on the core. So when we think of the core, we often think of maybe the six-pack abs, those rock solid or not so rock solid. Doesn't matter what they look like, that's not the point. What really makes the core is not those frontal muscles. It's not those superficial six-pack muscles. The core is actually an entire cylinder. It's made up of the diaphragm on the top, so the muscles of respiration. It's made up of the back muscles in the back of the body. And then it's made up of course, the six-pack muscles in the front, but also the internal, external obliques, and then the deeper transverse abdominis. You don't need to know the names, you just need to know they're there. And then it's also made up of the pelvic diaphragm at its base. So it's all these different interconnected muscles that help to stabilize us, that help to allow us to walk, to breathe, to move around. So the core isn't just about what it looks like on the front. It has this really big, deeper meaning and deep purpose. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. We're going to be moving a little. We're going to be resting, of course, as always, because rest is always important too, but we'll get to that later. But what you'll want today, 2 blocks, a bolster or a cushion if you have one, your yoga mat, and my playlist. I've dropped it into the description below, so make sure you listen to that. And I think that's about it. We'll get started. All right, I'll see you on your mat. So if you're not already there, come into your upright seat on your mat. So you can find that upright seat by stacking a pillow underneath you or a cushion or a block or anything that you need to find a little bit of height so that you can find that normal curve of the spine. And that normal curve, having good posture, is really important in a core focus class because, again, the core is all about breathing. So you can start your playlist now if you're practicing along with that, and you can, once you've got that playlist started, take a mudra in your hands, and I'll explain what it is. So the mudra that we're practicing with today is called Naga Mudra. So you'll just take your left hand and then take your right hand to cup around it. So thumb comes around the base of the knuckle pads. So Naga is a serpent goddess, so this is a mudra that has to do with power. It's all about that serpent-like quality, and that's what we're going to bring into the practice today because the core area, this energetic space of our body, even though it's really soft in most bodies, it is what we say energetically is the seat of power. So we're going to be working with that energetic idea in our practice today. So take your mudra, right hand cups the base of the finger pads and just let it rest down in your lap. And then just let everything settle. So let the shoulders soften, the jaw soften, the eyes close if that feels comfortable, and let the eyes soften into their sockets. And then notice your breath. And then see if you can take your breath a little down lower into the body. So starting with a nice soft diaphragmatic breathing. Letting the belly expand as you breathe in. And soften as you breathe out. And just take a couple rounds of breath like that. Breathing in, belly big, belly soft. Breathing out, settling the navel back inwards. A couple rounds on your own. Good, and we're going to take that same principle of diaphragmatic breathing, but we're just going to add a little bit of core engagement to it. So, hello Blue. So what you're going to do is, you're going to imagine that you have a candle in front of you. So see this candle in front of you in your mind's eye, and then you're just going to imagine, Blue, Can you see I'm in the middle of something? Okay, so I'll do this next activity, this next breathing exercise with Blue in front of me because she's taken up some space here. So we're going to take that same principle of diaphragmatic breathing and we're just going to add a little bit of engagement. So when you breathe out, you're going to imagine blowing out a candle right in front of you. Thank you. So as you breathe in, the belly is going to expand just gently. And then as you breathe out, imagine a candle in front of you and blow it out. So there's this sense of the belly just slightly drawing inwards. Good, so breathe in, let the belly softly expand. Breathe out, blow the candle out. Good, just drawing all the air out of the body to a point that feels comfortable. So you never want breathing exercises to make you lightheaded, to make you dizzy, anything like that. You're just looking for a little bit of core engagement as you draw that exhalation outward. 2 more rounds like that. Breathe in, belly softens, expands. Breathe out. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out, blow the candle out. Good. You'll let that go and we'll come to lie down on our backs now. So come onto your back. You don't need any props with you yet. You'll just come to lie down on your back any way that feels comfortable to do so. And you're going to come and bring your knees into your chest and then just give them a soft rock from side to side. And let your whole body be soft. Let the muscles in your face be soft, jaw be soft, forehead be soft. And just land here. Good, and now set the soles of your feet down onto the mat and we'll come into a constructive resting shape. So soles of the feet down, feet about hips width or just a little wider than hips width apart. And you want to find again that normal curve of your spine here and you want to keep that as we do the next activity. So normal curve meaning on your back there's just going to be a tiny bit of space so you can just start to slide your hand underneath your low back, underneath that lumbar spine. You don't want a whole lot of space. You don't want to be able to stick maybe like a book, a thick book, a dictionary under your back, but just a little bit of space. And then keep that little bit of space underneath your back and then lift your feet up and just bring your legs into a 90-degree angle. And then keep your spine in this position as you tap your right toe down onto the mat. And then lift it up and then tap your left toe down. And you can start with your hands, palms down alongside you, and then tap and tap and tap. And then keep going with your feet like this. Spine should stay in neutral, normal curve of the spine. And then you can either keep your hands like this if it's easy, or if it feels challenging already, or if it's easy, you can draw your hands overhead and keep tapping. And then if it's still easy and you want a little extra challenge, just start to straighten your legs just slightly. So legs lengthening. Tap and tap and tap. And then keep going. And don't even worry about your breathing too much here. Just worry about the movement in your body. And if you keep doing this, you'll start to feel the core muscles fire up. If you need to take a break at any point, you can. You know you're always welcome to do so. Otherwise, just keep tapping and tapping and tapping. And then if that's easy and you want to add one more little layer, then think about drawing your knee a little bit closer in towards your nose as you bring the knees in. Knee in as you tap. Knee in as you tap. Knee in as you tap. Good, just a couple more. Okay, and then after the next one, let that go. Bring the soles of your feet back down onto the mat. Take a breath out, sigh it out. Draw your knees into your chest. Rock a little side to side. Rock your knees onto, let's say, your right side, and then come up to seated again. And then from there, you'll make your way onto hands and knees. You'll come into all fours, come onto tabletop. So palms rest down, knuckles of the hands press down, tops of the feet press down, and then start to roll through a few rounds of cat and cow. So a couple more rounds of cat and cow, just arching and rounding the spine, taking any little movements that your body craves. And then we'll do another breath practice here. This is called lion's breath. So as you breathe in, draw your shoulders in, come into cow pose, shoulder blades draw and heart lifts. And then as you exhale, you'll press down, round the back, and then stick your tongue out. Good. Inhale back into cow pose, shoulder blades draw in. Exhale all the air out, stick your tongue out. Inhale into cow. Exhale, tongue out. 2 more rounds of lion's breath. Inhale, shoulders draw in through the nose. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Good. Come into a neutral spine, and then we'll come into a modified plank. So you might have to scoot your wrists forward just an inch or so. Draw your hips in line with your shoulders. So one flat line all the way from the knees to the shoulder blades to the crown of the head. And then bend your elbows to come alongside the ribs to lower yourself all the way down to the mat. We'll come into a baby cobra pose here to start. So wrists come underneath your elbows. Press down firmly through the tops of your feet, root down, and then peel your chest up and off the mat. And then draw the elbows in towards one another so the elbows are more or less right above the wrists. Your gaze can be down at the mat so the back of the neck is long. And these muscles that you're working now are part of the core cylinder that I mentioned earlier. So this is core work in and of itself. Good, take another breath in here. And exhale, lower yourself down. And then we'll take a few rounds of what's called drunken cobra. So you'll shift a little side to side to peel your chest up. And then shift side to lower yourself back down. And then shift side to lift up as you breathe in. And then shift side to lower down. And take just a few more of these. Shifting, lifting, and lowering. Good. And the next time you exhale, let yourself settle all the way down. Come into crocodile, stack your hands one on top of the other, and let your forehead rest down. Shimmy your hips side to side, just loosening out the low back. And then press your hands down as if you're going to come back into cobra pose, but this time lift yourself back up into all fours, coming into hands and knees. So press your palms down firmly on the ground. And then as if you're going to come into a full plank pose, you'll take your right toes back, so tuck the toes under, and then press down firmly through the hands. Root down as if you could push your right heel into a wall behind you. So already getting a sense of core engagement here. Then on your next exhalation, draw the leg up. Good. Keep getting a sense of pressing that heel into a wall behind you. So really rooting firmly. And then as you do that, pull forward with the crown of your head. So moving in both directions. Take a breath in here. And then as you exhale, draw your knee into your nose. Inhale, lengthen the leg back behind you. Exhale, knee into your nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Just set the knee down. Move through a cat and cow if you need it. then come back into a neutral spine. Extend your left leg back behind you, toes tuck under. Ground through the palms. Press your left heel into an imaginary wall behind you. Get a sense of engagement already through the core muscles. And then keep that engagement as you lift the leg off the mat. Press the heel back. Draw the crown of the head forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, knee into your nose. Inhale, lengthen, straighten. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Last one, lengthen, straighten out. Exhale, knee to nose. And then ground back into all fours. Move through your cat and cow. Come back into a neutral spine, and then we'll come into down dog together. So if you have socks on, you'll probably want to take them off. That's always the rule in yoga, but there always are exceptions to the rules. And one of my little secrets is I sometimes like to practice with socks on, even though you get less grip. If you have cold feet, you can absolutely keep your socks on if you want. But it does help with your grip of your feet on the mat if you do take them off. So I'll take them off for today. So you can take your socks off or leave them on or do whatever you want. But we'll come into down dog now. So hands ground, toes tuck, hips lift up towards the ceiling, and just pedal out your knees a little. And kind of a similar exercise to what we just did, we're going to be drawing the knee to the nose, eventually working on stepping that foot all the way forward. So we'll lift the right leg up to start. Press your right heel into an imaginary wall behind you, and then ground down through all 10 of your knuckle pads on your hands. Take a breath in. Exhale, knee into your nose, and as you do, draw your shoulders over your wrists. Good. Inhale, lengthen the leg back. Exhale, knee into your nose. Inhale, shift it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Last one, inhale, lengthen it back. Exhale, knee into your nose. Lengthen the leg back, press the heel to the ceiling, and then lower that foot. If you need to, move through a cat and cow. And then we'll take it to the second side. So come back into your down dog, pedal it out for a moment if you need. Come into stillness, and then reach the left leg to the ceiling this time. Find that line of engagement, pressing down through the hands, pressing up through the heel. Take a breath in. Exhale, knee into nose. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift up. Knee into your nose. Lift up. Knee into your nose. Good. Lift the leg up. Set the foot down. And then as if you're going to come into a handstand, shift your wrists, shift your shoulders over your wrists, and then keep that sense of the shoulders over the wrists as you tiptoe your feet forward. And you'll start to feel your core light up as you do. Good. Set the feet down, heels down, chin into chest, roll up to standing one vertebra at a time. Lift the arms up as you rise. Breathe in. Hands through the heart center. Arms alongside your body. Coming into mountain pose. So we'll come into goddess pose from here. So come to face towards the long edge of your mat, and then step your feet out wide. Draw your heels in, toes out, and then bend your knees. So you're coming down into a little squat here, wide-legged squat. And you can do whatever feels good with your hands. You can take Naga Mudra, that's serpent mudra again if you want, or you can take cactus arms, just whatever feels most grounding, most soothing, or most empowering here. But take what you want, and then we'll take a few more rounds of lion's breath, so that breath sticking the tongue out on the exhalation. So close your eyes, take a breath in, exhale, tongue out. Inhale. Exhale. Last one like that, inhale. Exhale. Good, straighten your legs for a moment if you need to, just to shake things out. And then we'll do another round of breath. And you can either stick with that same lion's breath, exhaling with the tongue out, or on this next round, if you want to, you can practice Uddiyana Bandha, which is a little bit different from lion's breath. Quite a lot different from lion's breath, actually. Uddiyana Bandha is what we call a lock, one of the seals in yoga. It's drawing the navel all the way in towards the spine as you exhale and just getting a sense of vacuuming the core muscles in. Now, this is not for everybody, so if you are pregnant or if you've just had a baby, that's one reason not to practice this. Or if you just had a really big meal and are full, you might not want to practice either. But if it feels interesting to explore, you know your limits in your body, so if you'd like to explore, you can. And I'll just show you a side view of what that Uddiyana Bandha is going to look like. It's going to be another exhalation through the mouth. But again, you're going to draw that navel towards the spine, and it's really engaging the full core muscles, or definitely the front core muscles with that exhalation. So you're going to be in a squat again, and then as you exhale, you're going to draw the navel back to spine. Sealing it up. And then as you inhale, you soften. I'll show you that one more time. You inhale. And exhale. Navel draws back into spine. And then you soften. So we'll move through that together a few rounds. So come back into your goddess. Hands come down onto your thighs now. Lengthen through the spine. Take a breath in. Exhale. All the air out, drawing navel back into spine. And then you hold here. And then when you can't hold in, you soften. Take a normal breath in and out. One more round like that. Breathe in. Exhale through the lips. All the air out, drawing navel up and in. Holding the breath. And when you need to breathe in, you can breathe in. Good. You can straighten your legs for a moment. And then come straight back down into your goddess pose, bending through the knees. This time, take your arms into a cactus shape, and then eagle wrap, left arm underneath right, and then start to shift side to side. This is what they call Kali Goddess in Laughing Lotus. So, as you exhale, you're going to take it out through the lips. Again, you're going to stick your tongue out. You're going to make noise. You can do whatever you want to do here. Make it loud. Take a breath in. Exhale. Ha. Inhale. Exhale. Ha. Switch the arms around. Inhale. Exhale. Ha. Blue's judging me. Inhale. Exhale. Ha. Good. Release that. Straighten the legs. Reach your arms up. And then fold forward down over your legs. Shake your head. Yes and no. If you have blocks and you want them under your hands, it can be kind of nice to have here. We're going to take a wide-legged downward facing dog. So you're just going to walk your hands forward. Keep your hips shifting back. So it's as if you're a downward facing dog, but the legs are just really wide here. And it just feels like a different kind of sensation for the back body, a different kind of stretch. And take a few breaths here, just letting everything go in the neck and the shoulders and the jaw. Letting your body be soft here. Good. Now walk your wrists back underneath your shoulders. Just another little activity to engage the core here. So you're going to pretend like you're going to press all the way up into a handstand without any momentum at all. It sounds crazy, I know, but you're just going to imagine doing it. So you're going to shift your weight. So the shoulders are stacked over the wrist And then come onto your tiptoes on your feet. And then if you're doing this the right way, you'll feel your belly really draw in and you'll feel those core muscles engaged. Good, and then lower the heels back down. And then do that again. Come forward onto the hands, lift yourself onto your tiptoes, and then imagine lifting your legs all the way off the mat, all the way onto the ceiling, and then lower back down. And then one more time like that, as if you're pressing into handstand, shift forward, lift onto your tiptoes, draw your belly to your spine as if you could press straight up. Good, and then let that go. And then with a flat back, come all the way up, arms overhead. And with one big step, come forward to the top of the mat, come back into mountain pose. Good. And we'll do a quick little flow here before we start to slow things down. We'll take some of that core strength we've been working on, some of those movements, some of that engagement we've been working on, and we'll put that together into this flow by doing what we call in yoga a step forward. So you're going to be stepping nose into knee to step the foot all the way forward to the front of the mat. So this transition, if it's not doable from downward facing dog, you can of course do it on hands and knees in tabletop like we were at the beginning of class, just drawing the nose to the knee and then stepping the foot forward from there. Otherwise, we're going to be playing with a step forward from downward facing dog. So we'll see how it goes. So find your mountain pose, find your rootedness, reach your arms overhead, take a breath in. As you exhale, fold forward over your legs. As you inhale, come into a halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hands down, step just your left foot to the back of the mat. Lower your back knee down, and then reach your arms up towards the ceiling, coming into a low lunge Anjaneyasana. And just pause here a breath or two. Lengthen through the fingertips. Press down through the back top of the foot. Good. Breathe in. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Feel that core engage as you tuck the back toes under and then step into downward facing dog. Ripple yourself forward into a plank pose. Take a breath in. Exhale all the way down to your belly. Inhale into a baby cobra pose, peeling the chest up. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you breathe in, lift your left foot up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, draw your knee into your nose, shift forward. 2 more times like that. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, knee into your nose. Last time, we're going to step forward now. Inhale, lift the leg up. Exhale, knee to the nose, hover, 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 and then step the foot in between your hands. And if that didn't happen, of course, you can do it from tabletop also. Any way you need to, draw that foot in between your hands, drop the back knee, reach the arms up, breathe in. Good. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Tuck your back toes under, step forward, come into a halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms lift up. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Second side, reach your arms up, breathe in. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Come into a halfway lift as you breathe in. Exhale, step the right foot to the back of the mat. Drop the back knee down. Reach your arms up, breathe in. A couple extra breaths here just to ground. Feel your foundation. Set the hands down. Tuck your back toes under. Step into downward facing dog. Ripple out plank pose as you breathe in. As you exhale, one flat board all the way down to your belly. As you inhale, find your baby cobra pose, peeling the heart up. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose. One last time, lift, lift, lift. Knee into nose. Step it forward. Drop the back knee down. Reach your arms up, breathe in. Exhale, straight back down, hands to the mat. Tuck the back toes under, step forward, halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. And if that step through didn't work for you, that's okay. You have millions of opportunities to practice that transition knee into nose stepping through, because we do it all the time in yoga. And it's one of the biggest things that beginners struggle with doing. So keep practicing and you'll get it. We're gonna start cooling it down from here. So any way you want, meet me on hands and knees. You can move through a vinyasa, you can move through another wide-legged fold, do whatever you want. I'll lead you through a vinyasa if you're joining me. Reach your arms up, breathe in. Exhale, fold down. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Exhale, you can step back, you can hop back. We'll move, plank, maybe halfway down or maybe all the way down. Inhale is your cobra or your upward facing dog. And exhale is your downward facing dog. Good, tap the knees down and then move through a few rounds of cat and cow. Or a few breaths in child's pose if that's what your body needs. Alright, and after those few rounds of cat and cow, you can meet me lying down on your back. Just draw the legs forward and then roll your spine down one vertebra at a time. Draw your knees into your chest and give them a gentle swish side to side to side. No more core work besides breathing. Feel your breath. And then cross your right ankle over your left thigh, coming into a figure 4 here. You can draw your arms into a cactus shape or into a T, whatever you have the space for. And then start to shift this figure 4 shape a little side to side. You can either stay with the left sole of the foot grounded, or if you want a little bit more intense of a stretch, you can draw the foot up, maybe taking your hands to interlace around the back of the thigh. And then keep that gentle rocking side to side. And then tip this whole structure over to your left side. I have some blocks in the way, but you get the picture as to what to do. Just set the sole of the foot down. Arms can come back into that T or cactus shape. If it feels good for your neck, you can take your gaze just gently over towards the left. And let the belly be soft. And legs can come back through center as you breathe in. Set the left foot down and then switch the legs around so the right sole of the foot grounds. Left ankle crosses over the right thigh. Gentle rock of that structure of the legs a little side to side. Either stay or lift the right sole of the foot up and take your hands maybe to interlace around the back of the leg. And then maybe you just give that leg a gentle rock from side to side. Coming to your supine twist, drawing the left sole of the foot down to the mat. Gaze can move over towards the left side as you gaze over and let the arms cut. Gaze can move over to the left side as you take that cactus shape with the arms. Soften the breath, soften the body. Draw the legs back through center. Release the crossing of the ankles and thighs. Take your knees back into your chest and just gently rock side to side. And 2 offerings for our final rest. You can either just stretch the legs out alongside you, lengthening out. Or one variation that I'll offer up is to take kind of a Stonehenge variation. So if you have blocks nearby, you'll take those, set them down, and then you'll take a bolster or a cushion over the blocks, and you'll rest your legs on top of that. So the blocks can be at whatever height, create stability. That could be the medium height. It's probably not the tallest height, either the medium or the lowest. And the feet just kind of dangle off the edge. If you had socks before, please put them on now. Shavasana is no good without socks, especially if you're in a cold place. If you have a blanket, take that also and place it over the abdomen, softening here. And then let yourself rest here. Letting the body soften, letting the belly soften. Letting everything be heavy, be held. Take a breath in. Soft sigh out. Breath in. Sigh it away. Shavasana. And you'll start to gently release here, drawing back some movement, some energy into first the fingertips and toe tips, ankles and wrists. You might take a full body stretch, yawning the arms overhead, drawing the tips of the toes forward. Rock onto your right side. And meet me up in a seat. Take a moment to get grounded, maybe stacking, blanket, bolster, whatever you need underneath you. Find length in your spine, drawing the crown of your head upwards. Find your mudra again, Naga mudra, that powerful serpent gesture. Rest it down onto your lap. Find your breath. And connect with it. And as you're here in this shape, in this seat, grounded, I'll read you a poem called Lion's Tooth by Stephen Hickman. Born of seed and sun and water, gardener's unwanted squatter, standing tall in turf unwanted, spreading mane and wind undaunted, proud, defiant, lion's tooth, silver sphere obscures the truth, transient, made from space, delicate as spider's lace, gold rosette to lost salute, ultimate heavenward pursuit, held within its radiant form, the seed of birth, called to perform. The earth pulls body to its rest, but not before it sheds its best, letting wind pull what it wants. It won't let go just yet, it taunts. Eternal bond of host and guest ends with a tug for what seems best. The parent yearns for lost offspring. As each pod locks and tastes to wind. Freedom felt on strength of breeze, mighty gust on strangled wheeze. Traveler flies in full retreat, or falls forthwith at Father's feet. Soil wraps in moist embrace, transforming with a nuanced grace. The end of one is now beginning, losing life is also winning. Hold this fierce lion in your hand, for all the world it still commands. Death and birth are heard in one. Starting melds with being done. Embrace the uninvited greenery, for all it brings to living scenery. Be careful what you call the weeds, when cursing where you've sown your seeds. You can release the mudra in your hand. Draw it into your prayer. Take it to your heart center. And draw the prayer to the center of your forehead. Together we bow and say, Namaste. All right, thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you come back next time. So if you have any requests, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.